Hey guys, what's going on? Doing an update video. So yesterday was one of the best trading days of my career. I was so excited about it, I couldn't make the videos last night, so I thought I'd wait until today. So earlier I did a video on Jeff Williams Market Navigator. Yesterday made $1,470. You can check that video out on my channel. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll realize that this is something, if you like trading SPY, you'll really find useful and helpful. So that was part of the profits, but actually that was only 10% of the profits I made yesterday. The rest of it was made in my own Discord basically from following Sir Goldman's scalping SPX. I want to be really clear though that I got lucky yesterday. This is not typical. You can't expect to make these types of profits. Usually we typically win 20%, maybe up to 500%. These are usually runners though. I got really lucky, so bear that in mind when I'm talking about what happened yesterday. It's not a typical win by any stretch of the imagination. Before I get started, I want to talk about Lux Algo really quick. I'm really excited to be partnering with them. They're the #1 provider of technical indicators worldwide. They're used and trusted by over 50,000 traders, which is crazy. I'm going to be reviewing them in detail over the next few weeks or months. As time goes on, I'm going to look at all their indicators and really figure out which ones I like and give you guys all the information in depth about them. If you want to get started though, I'm going to leave my affiliate link in the description below. If you use that and the coupon code STA30, I'll put that in the link as well in the description. You can get 30% off all the indicators they have basically. So try them out, see what you think. Apparently they are really popular and I'm excited to be working with them going forward. I think it's going to be exciting. I always like these types of programs. I've used a few of them in the past. They're often really good, save you a lot of time and effort. So pretty excited about that, and I'll definitely be updating as we go on about that. But let's get started on the actual crazy day yesterday. So if you want to join Sidekick Traders, there's a 3-day trial. Like I said, I started this 3 years ago now, 2020. And it's morphed a lot over the years, but at the moment we're really focusing on scalping SPX. And I think it's really fun. It's something that is really making some people a lot of money. It takes a lot of practice. You've got to get good at it. Nothing's easy, right? You've got to practice, and you can't expect immediate success. But if you learn the strategies, follow the alerts, and manage your positions, and get lucky like what happened to me yesterday. It only takes one of those to really boost you up there. So yeah, let's go through the trades. So yesterday I made a whopping, and this is the biggest amount I've ever made in my entire career, $14,000 on these two SPX trades in Sidekick Traders. I'm trading with $100,000, so kind of put it in perspective. It's not like I have a $2,000 account, and so this is a decent portion, but it's not like a 5,000x my money, which is definitely worth sort of bearing in mind here. This was with 20 contracts. I did 2 trades, so I did the 20 April 41.25 puts, and that was where most of the money was made, the vast majority. And I did the 20th April 41.50 calls, which is a typical trade for me on Goldman's alerts. So he alerts inside Sidekick Traders, just these SPX scalps. And honestly, most of the time I pike and just end up going out for 10% or 20% max. I got really lucky on this trade, but it shows what I'm missing out on. If I can just scale out slowly, I wouldn't make this much on each trade, but I would make maybe half of that, maybe a third of it, with learning to really be patient and let these runners go. As it happened, this was a mistake on my part. I started to scale out, or at least I thought I was. Then I got distracted, which is rare for me. Usually I keep a really close eye on these things. And before I knew it, this thing had spiked and I was up a lot, and I just smashed the sell button as fast as I could. And you guys that are in the Discord will have seen this happen in real time and seen how excited I got. So let's go through the trades. Starting off with the 41.50 calls that Goldman alerted. This was the alert on the left here. You can see the timestamp and everything. 41.50 calls at 1.8. I got on at a very similar price. I think actually a little lower here. So the arrow indicates my trade. Goldman actually broke even on this. I got lucky. I got out of it for a little profit. It was actually a significant profit for me. $600 is a decent trade for me, and so that was the move on this. So very small move, right? It's always difficult to show this though, so I always try and zoom in and show the X and Y axis here. So it's a problem with Thinkorswim. I've not been able to really find a solution for this where you can actually see the numbers on the right. So zooming in like this on a screenshot is the best I can really do. You can see that the sort of scale here is 1.6 is here, and then it popped to 1.92, and it ultimately went to 2.2 up here. So that's just that's a typical trade, I'd say. I think maybe actually below average. I think it was a difficult one. So some of the guys were able to make a little profit on it, but Goldman actually broke even on it. The big one was this guy. So I'm plotting here, by the way, these are the actual contracts, not the underlying SPX. These are the calls and these are the puts. And this is where all the money was made yesterday. So he alerted yesterday, 2 o'clock my time, these SPX 4125 puts at 2.5. So you can see on the right here, hopefully you can see the actual value here. So just about here. Now this is the problem a lot of people have, is they often take off right away. This guy is brilliant at timing his entries, and a lot of people, that makes them think, oh, he's like not really entering or whatever. He's just really good, and I took his course, it's really in depth. He's really good at entering at the exact right point. His entries are like snipers. So it's hard. Sometimes you have to chase a little bit, depends on your risk tolerance. I tend to chase a little bit sometimes. In this case I was able to get a very similar price, and then this thing just rocketed all the way up. If you look on the right here, look at these numbers. So this is a 1 minute chart, by the way. So you can see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He peaked at almost $11 from his entry at 2.5. And this is a 1 minute chart, so this is not long. It's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Now, normally what had happened is on this candle here, it has scaled out, right? 10%. You've gone 20% even from like 2.5 to 3 or even 4. That's a huge win. I mean, like you can go from 2.5 to 5, and 5 is about here, right? So that's a 100% win. What happened yesterday though is I got distracted, and this could have resulted in a huge loss. So I'm not trying to say there was any skill involved here. I'm not trying to say if you join Sidekick Traders and take these trades, this will be what happens to you. It really is unlikely. This is like a 1 in a million chance, but you only need one of them, right? That's all you need to really make your month, or even your year sometimes. And so what happened here is I scaled out, or thought I scaled out around here. And then I got distracted, which is very unusual. Like normally I'm glued to my computer. And so I thought I'd scaled out here, but what I'd actually done is added 10 contracts around here. And then I got distracted, went away, and before I knew it, like I'd come back to my computer, and I thought I was like almost all out, right? Because like I really did. I thought I had 5 contracts left or something. And I was talking to the Discord, I was like, hey, like that was a great trade, everything's good. And you guys that are in the Discord saw this happen in real time. And then I looked back at my brokerage and I saw this number, something close to it, and we were way up here somewhere. And I just sold. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I've never seen these numbers before. Like I trade with a big account, or relatively big account, and I scalp with big positions fairly regularly. You guys that have been in Sidekick Traders for a long time probably remember the days where I'd go in with $100,000, $200,000 into some of these fast moving scalps. And so like, to me though, this is a whole new level. Like I've never made $13,000 in 10 minutes on a trade, never. And I've been trading a long time, and scalping is one of the things I do the most of with big positions. And so I do tend to sell too early, and that's my problem. So this is really like opening my eyes to the fact that if I was to like just manage my positions better, so like I said, I'd probably have scalped and got out here, like on my whole position. And then what I've noticed is Goldman holds and he scales out slowly over this entire move. So, and that's what he did. He ended up selling up here, but he scaled out slowly. I need to get over this thing of where if I'm up 20%, I just get out, because this has shown me that sure, I'm not going to hold the whole position or for that type of gain, but instead of $500 or $1,000, if I can do this, surely I can get $3,000 or $4,000 out of these positions rather than $500 or $1,000. And this is going to be a continuous battle for me, right, to try and hold these things long enough. It's very difficult and it takes a lot of practice, but this has really inspired me to like try harder, basically. Because if I can get half of this or a third of this on these trades, where Goldman does, I watch him every day, he must get $2,000 to $3,000 on these types of trades pretty much daily, or whenever they happen, every few days. So absolutely fantastic. I think it's definitely worth trying this out. I think it takes practice. I basically practiced this for a long time before increasing my position size, and it's definitely risky. These things, you know, if you chase and you end up here and it pulls back and you panic and sell, like, you've got to be careful and you've got to have a tight stop. You don't want to be taking 80% losses. If you chase and it pulls back, you know, I always have a stop at like 30% max. I think Goldman's a little bit looser, like 40% maybe. But you got to be careful. And I'm definitely not saying that you can make $13,000 in 10 minutes. I'm really not trying to say that. This was a fluke. I trade these every day though, so eventually, hopefully you're going to get lucky. So yeah, so fantastic day. I'm really excited about it. I had that winner, and then I had the Market Navigator winner from Jeff Williams for about another 10% of that. And then I actually exited Riot, which was the bullseye trade stock, for another good $1,000 odd or $3,000 something. I don't even remember now. I'll do another video on that at the weekend. Ended up with about $16,000 in gains yesterday. So that has really made my month. I don't usually make that much. I try and trade regularly, but I'm not the most skilled trader by a long shot. And so these types of numbers are just phenomenal to me, and I'm really excited to see if I can learn from this and be like, okay, just relax, scale out 2 or 3 contracts, let it ride, you know, see if I can try and milk a bit more out of these things. So yeah, really excited. Come and join us, 3-day trial. You may not like it. Paper trade it if you want. You can just come in and do these. He wins a lot of them. Like I said, this is not quite up to date, but he goes on streaks where he wins like 20, 30 in a row. You know, recently there's been a few more losing trades, and that can put people off, but you got to stay with it. You got to dedicate yourself to the strategy if it's something that works for you. And we can help you in there. Like, Lance is doing a great job with the swing trades and the day trades and things. And we also like to try and help people learn how to manage these trades. Some tips and tricks for like not missing them and for keeping your losses to a minimum as well. So hopefully we can help people do that and go forward from there. Alright guys, I'll talk to you in the next video.